So guys, the United States through Tèrr0Rists is issuing another serious warning to sympathizers of terrorists. See how this headline captured it. It says individuals who encourage or facilitate persecution of Christians in Nigeria are threats and should not be allowed into America. So guys, we all know that people like Sheikh Gumi were denied entrance into Saudi Arabia because of their link, their association with terrorists in Nigeria. Now, many people have been wondering how Sheikh Gumi is so prominent in the north. Like we saw recently, the Katsina state governor released 70 terrorists as a peace deal pact. And guess what? After that, he moved to Kaduna State to meet with Sheikh Gumi. That came with a whole lot of reactions from Nigerians, as in Sheikh Gumi that was denied entrance into Saudi Arabia is being rated so high by this northern leader. So guys, nobody knows what Nigeria is up to today. I mean, in terms of the level of terrorism happening in Nigeria. Now, let me share this good news to you guys. If you can remember this Reverend Father, he was kidnapped sometime last year, around November. News has it that he has been released. Now, see how this headline here captured it. It says, to the greater glory of God, Father Pascal Bobo, who was abducted exactly 2 months ago, November 17, 2025, has been released. The Catholic Archdiocese of Kaduna, Nigeria, released a letter this afternoon to announce his safe release. May God come to the rescue of other people who are still in captivity. So this is Pascal Bobo. He is a Reverend Father and was kidnapped sometime last year, by terrorists. And now they finally released him after 2 months in captivity. We just hope that he's doing well. So guys, talking about insecurity in northern Nigeria and how the north is becoming a threat to the entire country, see how this headline captured another incident that happened in Kanu State. It says a woman and her 3 children have been slaughtered in their home and thrown into a well in Chiranchi Dorai area of Kano metropolis of Kano State. The incident occurred on Saturday, 17th of January 2025, throwing residents into shock. So guys, there are no kinds of ugly stories that don't emanate from the north. You can see what is happening. Now, talking about insecurity, Tinubu has been out of the country, and finally Tinubu is back to Nigeria. We just hope that his presence will play 1 or 2 roles. I'm just going to allow you to take a look at this video where Barrister Darlington has reacted to Tinubu's absence and the menace of terrorists in Nigeria, how they are boldly kidnapping people, collecting ransom, and the northern leaders are worsening the situation by granting them peace deal. I mean, terrorists are being granted peace deal in Nigeria. What have we not seen under this APC-led administration? I mean, people who have killed your soldiers, shot down military jet, invaded the Nigerian military bases, scattered away our weapons and all that. Today, they are being granted amnesty. And those military men that have been killed or executed, their families are left to mourn forever. That is the irony of being a Nigerian. So guys, now this headline here is Nigerian Air Force airstrike kills over 40 terrorists in Borno State. Can you imagine one airstrike killing up to 40? It means that everywhere is full of terrorists in Nigeria. Anyway guys, let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell notification for more. Thank you.
I just told you here that the Nigerian government is complicit in this insecurity. The way they are treating the terrorists and the way they are talking with them shows that, yes, they are partners in business. This latest order, how far can it go? The previous order, what effort, what did it bring to us? I can bet my last kobo that the people doing all this in Niger State are the same people that kidnapped those Catholic students and later released them. They are the same group of people within that vicinity, that Niger State. They are the same people operating. So if you do not take them down the first time, you do not take them down the second time, you do not even take them down the third time. Is it this one now that you are going to, what are you going to do now that you have not done before? Well, you have brought the other previous one, what did you do? That's the question. These are just for the optics. It's not as if anybody is going to do anything. the bandits and terrorists are acting with impunity because they know that, yes, they have support somewhere. That's why they are not bothered. It is unfortunate that a region that is lacking behind in education is suffering this type of menace, and they are treating it with kid glove. If you want to open school in areas that are not under attack, of what use is it? Are they not supposed to be following a syllabus? So the syllabus will be running in another part of the state, while in the other one they are at home. Let them stop this thing, for God's sake. It is stoppable. This insecurity, it is stoppable, for God's sake. If they can bring sincerity of purpose, I don't see how terrorists can defeat the whole Nigeria. But because of insecurity, the very people who claim that they are fighting insecurity are the ones helping the terrorists, are the ones in bed with them, are the ones collaborating with them. They are the ones, giving them all the privileges that they want. So, how can you say you are fighting insecurity? When you are giving them money for every kidnap, why wouldn't they continue to fester? In Niger State alone, between last week and now, is over 3, adoptions. 3. And then killings. So, how can you tell me that people are serious over this matter? They have reduced Nigeria to nothing. In fact, Nigeria is worthless from the look of things, where terrorists are now dictating to government what they want and what they do not want. And government officials are pampering them, engaging them in phone calls, discussing with them and all that. It's so sad, seriously. I never thought that this would get this bad under APC. Government is not telling us the truth about this matter. Whenever they want to appease the public, they will issue a statement that they kill 200 of them. Meanwhile, we cannot say anybody. Nobody backs. They just say it. So, on what ground will I now believe them? Is it not on record that the ones they managed to overpower, the one that as security agents managed to overpower, within weeks, they are rehabilitated back into the military, into civilian lives and all that. They are being pampered. They sew uniforms to them and all that. Is that not on record? Or is that one too a propaganda? So when you keep treating them like that, on what ground will I now support you that, yes, you want to actually exterminate them? Is that not why more and more are coming into Nigeria? One terrorist group after another, they just walk into Nigeria and they open shop, establish their business and start operating. How many of them are operating here now? That is, let me just be generous with the number. At least 7 terrorist organizations operating on Nigerian soil now. What does that tell you? How did they come in here? Is it not government and their policy that open our border and say they should come in with $200? They will give them visa. So what exactly, what other evidence are you looking for to tell you that government is complicit in this matter? The way they are treating these people is more than enough to tell you that, yes, they are working with them. So I'm not amused. I don't believe in what they are telling me. Until they do the needful, you and I will see, we will know that, yeah, government is serious here. Donald Trump that came in, didn't you see? That is a man that is serious about something. He didn't waste time. He took action. Under 1 month of discussion, the man bombarded everywhere. And you are telling me that government is there. Let them come and meet me and tell me that story. Sheikh Gumi, who have been hobnobbing with the terrorists and all that, telling us, in fact, threatening the whole country. They banned him from coming into Saudi Arabia. But in Nigeria, the man is gallivanting all over the place, making statements. Nobody have arrested them. Nobody have said anything. Please, my dear, leave that thing. They know what they are doing. They know what they are. When they are serious, you and I will see it. The metaphor for this insecurity is Plateau and Benue, where foreign terrorists entered Nigeria. Took parts of Benue and Plateau, sacked the villagers, and sent them into IDP camp, and they occupied those villages. They renamed it, and they are living in people's home, ancestral home, as I talk to you now. Is that one false? Is it true or false? Tell me. Is it true or false? These are the people you swore to protect when you are taking your oath of office. Foreign terrorists, they came in here, took part of Nigeria and established their presence there. And you, the government, you don't even bother. You are not even, they have been there. It's getting to 10 years now. These people have been there. In another person's house. What kind of arrogance and impunity is that? And you call yourself a government, Abi? So you want to tell me that government is not aware? The Arnold, Michael Arnold, that American man that came here, he said he saw over 600,000 people in those IDP camps. Nigerian citizens. This is Benue that's supposed to be the food basket of Nigeria. Then the real farmers are in IDP camp. How do they farm? And then foreign terrorists, foreign. Because these people are not from Nigeria. If they are from Nigeria, they will not take over another person's home when their own house is there. That action alone will tell you that they are not from here. And you are telling me that government is what? Government is doing what? So they have not seen those people, Abi. They have not heard, Abi. What are those Benue people doing in IDP camp? Is that their home? Tell me, is that their home, IDP camp, in your own country?
List by the European Union following the plenaries by the Financial Action Task Force based in Paris. And then there's the other subject about inflation, headline inflation in Nigeria. Well, I recall that we had discussed this headline inflation with you, Dr. Tèrr0Rists, Chief Executive Officer, Economic Associates, who is now joining me now to take a look at those two issues. Now, Dr. Tèrr0Rists, you had said that inflation is likely to be single digit in Nigeria by January.
That's right.
Right? And now we have the December headline inflation report from the Nigerian Bureau of Statistics, NBS. And the NBS is saying, well, you know, it's now 15.15 as of December 2025. And I came down from 17.16 in November. But they have changed methodology, you know, in terms of how they calculate. Instead of using a monthly assessment, they now decided to use a yearly assessment. So the 15 point whatever percent is now year on year. So you were saying that it's not about methodology. The last time you were here, you were saying what we were seeing from the November result was the lagging effect of Dirty December. I think that was how you put it.
I'll explain.
But that it is not rebasing. But now this new methodology that they say they have adopted, they say it's based on international best practice. It is what is done in West Africa. And interestingly enough, the IMF has had to praise the Nigerian government that the methodology adopted is a good one. You seem to have a different opinion.
When did they do that?
No, in the course of the week. It was part of the report.
Released by MBS. Anyway, I wanted you to finish.
Yes.
I wanted you to land
Yes.
so I can respond. Okay, Dr. Abati, good evening. And thank you for the invitation. Good evening,
Yes.
viewers. Okay, always defended the integrity of the data released by the Nigerian Bureau of Statistics, including the rebasing exercise of the CPI that was announced in February 2025. in which they announced rebase figure for January 2025, putting an end to the series that had been coming from the last rebasing effort of November 2009. And the rebased figures released up to November had integrity. I had to engage the NBS in August and then in September about 2 errors committed by them when they announced the rebase figure in February. The suggestion that the index for December 2024 was 100% was an error. It was not 100%. They did not rebase to December 2024. Rather, from the releases they had made up to July, it was clear that the index was 100 around June. I said, go out and correct that impression before we get to December. So that those who are expecting that there is going to be a base effect in December will drop such idea. There's not going to be any base effect in December. The index was 100 in June. And I was told, by the director of national prices that we should wait until December. That the way the index was dropping, it might well not be necessary to make any announcement, but that when December comes, if there's any need for an announcement, they will make it. The second error was that they implied that the index jumped from 100 in December to 110 in January 2025, which is most implausible. Some people said it's technical. There is no technical adjustment. The index had been 100 in June and had risen to 116 in December and dropped to 110 in January. Up till this new announcement that they had just made, they did not announce any inflation figure, month-on-month inflation figure for January, when the month-on-month index dropped. I said, go out, correct those 2 things about the month-on-month figure for January and the fact that December couldn't have been 100. They refused. And the one they have now done this week, or last Monday, I don't see any sense in what they have done. I don't see any global methodology that they are talking about. I think this is a much bigger error than the minor omission that they needed to correct. Well, they have added, let me tell you what they have done. They've now added between 2.9% and 3.1% to the year-on-year inflation figures that they have announced since January. I don't know any country that has come back to do that before. So if you are marking up the year-on-year inflation figures that you have announced since January, what kind of new methodology is that? It's arbitrary. Okay. And if Nigeria had any way of calling its institutions to order, it should be upturned. They should be made to revert to the original announcements in January and correct the impression that December wasn't 100% and that January wasn't dash the month-on-month in January. Okay. That's my brief introduction.
Okay, I think you are consistent, because what you said before now is that the rebasing by the NBS is just about ambiguity, and now you have said, they have not even provided enough clarity about the situation. Will you say that perhaps they are playing politics with data?
Well, not
propaganda, just to give Nigerians false hope.
When you say they, the NBS is not a political party.
Well.
And their latest
you can play politics with figures.
Hang on. Their latest action discredits the government. What sense is in it to revise inflation that you have announced for 11 consecutive months and move them all up by 3 percentage points? What sense is in that? If it's a constant upward adjustment, then leave it. Because it doesn't affect the trend of prices. Okay. You raised everything by 3 percentage points. It is senseless. I've never seen it happen anywhere in the world. Okay. And if we add order in this country, it should not be allowed to stand.
Okay.
They should be made to retract the announcement they made.
the CEO of CFG Advisory,
Yes.
said from their own computations in his office that they arrived at over 20%, and that the figure that the MBS is touting does not reflect the realities in Nigeria. Maybe perhaps that's exactly what you are saying.
That's not exactly what I'm saying. I'm saying that inflation in November had previously been announced by MBS to be 14.45.
Yes.
In this latest announcement, they marked it up to 17.3.
No.
So they had added.
Yeah, for November.
They had added 2.9 to it.
Yes.
The figure they announced for December, the year-on-year inflation they announced for December now, instead of it to be 12.4, they now say it's 15.5.
1.5.
That's 3.1. So they've added 3.1. So what's the point in marking up announced year-on-year figures for 11 months, all by an average of 3 percentage points, and then increasing the one that you should have announced in December by another 3 percentage points?
Okay, very quickly.
So they are exaggerating the level of the year-on-year inflation.
Very quickly. The World Economic Forum just issued a statement, a report, saying that, in fact, this year, there's going to be a lot of dislocations. There's going to be a lot of turmoil within the economic space, at least for the next 2 years, in the short term, which will make all these calculations, particularly in the emerging markets, developing countries, not realistic. Do you agree? About the geopolitical confrontation, about the crisis that the WEF is predicting in its preliminary outlook report.
Okay, the WEF.
WEF, World Economic Forum.
Yeah, the WEF is not a prophet. So do not swear by their prediction. Their prediction will be conditional. If event
in economics, everything is relative.
If event A occurs, event B will follow. And the probability, so if you get a weather forecast, it's a probability. The probability that event A will occur remains to be seen. So we shouldn't create, therefore, panic. We should wait for events to occur, and then we will respond to it. And they are predicting crises on a global scale. And the extent to which it is going to affect us, we'll have to wait to see. I mean, President Trump made his tariff announcements. He created as much turbulence as he could in 2025. The impact on Nigeria had relatively been mild. So I would imagine, that the crisis that the WEF is predicting may or may not occur, and to whatever extent that they occur, the impact on us should not be exaggerated. And when we get there, we have capable institutions like, the central bank and the economic management team to respond to them. And the fact that a crisis is on the global scene does not immediately automatically translate that the crisis will then happen in Nigeria to the same scale. Okay.
You had predicted that Nigeria will have single-digit inflation in 2026. But are you saying now MBS has messed that up with their wrong methodology?
Well, arbitrary methodology that adds 3 percentage points to all the inflation figures announced this year. So they've added to the December one. They say the year-on-year inflation in December was 15.5, whereas it should have been 12.4. So let's see what they announced in January and see if you have to discount their magic 3%, which they say is latest methodology. We can be discounting their 3% from it, but if we are already right now at 12.4, we are just one step from single digit. If we are at 15.4, we are 2 steps from single digit. Whether it occurs in January or not, in single digit inflation will be with us here in Nigeria latest by the last month of the first quarter. So Nigeria is on course. We were at 34.6 in November 2024. And with the addition of the magic 3%, we are still at 15.5 now. So in 2 months, 3 months, we should be in single digits. Okay. And we should remain there for the year.
Let's talk about...
that commendation should go to the central bank. not the MBS. You should go to the economic management team. You should go to the presidency.
Let's talk about talking about commendation. Yeah, maybe you talk again about the judiciary, the central bank, the financial intelligence unit, the economic financial crimes commission. Simply, the EU now removing Nigeria from the high-risk list of countries. 5 other countries in Africa are also on that list, including South Africa, including Tanzania, 5 others removed. So what does this mean in real terms for Nigeria?
Yeah, this follows the removal of Nigeria from the Great List by the Financial Action
Task Force
in October. And the EU, following the Financial Action Task Force's own verification of improvements in the enforcement, regime on money laundering, on terrorism financing in Nigeria. So both the EU and the Financial Action Task Force has found that there is increased enforcement of the laws, including the Money Laundering Act, the EFCC law, by the Central Bank of Nigeria and other players in the financial regulation arena in Nigeria. So it's credit to the government as we are trying to make sure that our foreign exchange market continues to be efficient and stable. The CBN has spearheaded, increased scrutiny, on activities of all players in the financial space, and the international community has repeatedly now, been noticing, and that's why we've been removed from both lists. So it's commendable.
Well, you said better enforcement of regulatory frameworks and expectations, guidelines of the FATF. Is there any guarantee that this respect for compliance?
So guys, you have seen what the Nigerian government has turned Nigeria into. Pampering of terrorists is becoming something else. Now, let's see how some Nigerians have reacted to the Air Force killing some of these terrorists in Nigeria. This person say, make sure you strike them in real life. Every month, we keep seeing similar news. Yet, the terrorists keep wreaking havoc in northern part of the country. And this other person say, they are just dishing numbers, no evidence. Great job. Another person here said, whenever US bomb a location, they drop evidence for you. But when Nigerian military bombs a location, they attach a Google picture of random helicopter. Who is deceiving who? And this person say no evidence, na lie. Another person says source. This person say we only see headline, kill more please. So guys, you can see that the Nigerian military has descended to something else. Nigerians are wondering, did they really kill any terrorists? This was while the ones in custody are being released on a propaganda no fit make faint because of laugh, make me faint because of laughter. So Nigerians are also wondering, they are killing them while they are the ones releasing them from custody, and now they are telling us that they are killing them. So Nigerians are not believing this news. This one say the audio killing of terrorists by NAF needs to stop, since the terrorists keep resurrecting and wreaking more havoc after they've been killed by NFA. He said the terrorists are still resurrecting. That means they are not really being killed. So guys, Nigerians are just telling the NFA that this your news is fake. Every time you come up with headlines that you bomb terrorists, no evidence of you bombing them. People are saying go to the US. When they tell you they bomb terrorists, they release evidence. But in Nigeria, it's only headlines that we are seeing. We want to see evidence. And apart from that, how come you are killing terrorists while you are still, the Tinubu's government is still releasing terrorists out of custody? And this one says, to every member of the Nigerian Air Force, we see your sacrifice, we appreciate your skills and encourage and courage under pressure. You are the reason many families can sleep a little safer tonight. Keep soaring high. God bless our gallant troop. God bless NAF. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So that's what this guy is saying. But Nigerians are saying they need evidence. You know, they need evidence. Don't just come and tell us story. Where is the footage of the strike? They have launched their audio strike again. Before you know it, reports of escalated bandit attacks will be flooding the news. So this person is saying, yeah, NSA is saying they actually killed them. Before you know it now, these terrorists will start buying people everywhere. The terrorist fighting propaganda keeps building as their lobbies don't do the work for them with their highest bid. So guys, these are Nigerians reacting to the NFA saying they killed terrorists. This person say the time they did not miss target. This time they didn't miss target as usual. Hopeless nation Nigeria. And this person here says just shut up already. Ashhole Bello Tuji just drove out a whole village from their ancestral land. So again I ask, what's terrorists? What's terrorists? Who is the terrorist? So this person, only in Nigeria do such action lack real photographic evidence and relies instead on AI generated images. These same authorities often recycle photos from past events to present them as recent achievement. In such circumstances, where does credibility truly lies? You know, people are just wondering, why are they always telling us, giving us fake news? So guys, this is the problem. Anyway, this person say, why does the airstrike why does the airstrikes and killings of terrorists always look like audio, no picture of location strikes, and the dead bodies will be while when terrorists attack we see pictures, sometimes well edited videos. So this person is saying, so the terrorists are even more giving more details to their to their actions. This other person say all this bombing and they never stick by that bellow till today. God I beg you. And this person say if it is the US airstrike, we would use unclassified video circulating by now. If it is the US Air Force strike, we would use unclassified video circulating by now, but for us it's just headline. Hey, so guys, this is the Gbasgbos. Air power is effective, but how do if the airstrike really happened? Nigeria Air Force airstrike killed 40 terrorists in Borno State. Is it confirmed? 40 is a small number. I want to hear 500 at a go. This person say, Willy, mother in the chicken cooking rice. You remember that song? We look like small children for this side. Now, so Nigerian government, they look us. Bring evidence footage. So Nigerians are saying, we want to see the evidence of your strike against these terrorists. Don't just bring AI generated image to us. So guys, let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe, turn on the bell notification for more. Thank you.